hmm Got it.
Hello, online pipe community. This is Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. And today I have got Tom, the Mad Piper. Tom, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me here, Ethan.
This should be a lot of fun. Well, Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do.
Well, I'm from Leicestershire in the United Kingdom, and I'm an electrical panel fitter, and I'm a new pipe smoker since November the 4th,
Okay, so
2022.
just under 6 months. What got you interested in smoking a pipe?
Well, it was way back before I smoked a pipe. I would watch YouTube videos like I'll name a couple matches 860 and
Mhm.
Mudshot Piper, and I would watch them over and over again. And I was always interested. Like I was always a cigarette smoker way back. I don't do that anymore, but I was always interested in how they could get different tastes out of the tobacco, and that
Mhm.
you don't really get from a cigarette. Well, in my experience, um, and that's it. Just got me more interested. I just kept going back, kept watching them, and then eventually I started finding new channels, and they're in the UK, a couple in the UK, and then a few more. And then that pushed me. I just thought I've got to get a pipe. Like this is 10 years later. I was like, I've got to get a pipe. So I got one, and yeah, absolutely loved it from day one.
Well, uh, it's a very similar experience for a lot of us. Hey,
Yeah.
before we get any further into it, I forgot our housekeeping. Um, in a 3-star Pipe by Lee Bulldog with, I don't know if you can see that, it's got coral rustication. I have
That's
got
beautiful.
a bowl of former Private Flake. Um, my viewers will know I don't normally smoke aromatics, but this isn't just any aromatic, and I'll be talking more about this in one of my upcoming videos. What have you got going?
I've got the 623 Savinelli bent bulldog with some brown twist. Absolutely love it.
Good stout stuff.
hmm
Um, well, while we're at talking about blends and pipes, what are your favorite blends and or blend types?
Uh, my favorites are probably black and brown twist. It's just that dark fired, the rich taste that I really like, and brown flake and dark flake. I really like those. And yeah, favorite pipes as well is probably the Savinellis. I've got a couple of them now.
Now, do you use the 6 millimeter filters or do you use plugs?
I don't like to use filters. I tried them at the start, but I just don't like to use filters. So if the pipe requires a filter, I just leave it empty. I ought to get the adapters, but yeah, I just this one's empty right now.
Well, and everybody's a little different as to what kind of airflow they like.
Mm,
I tried my Savinelli, my Friday Savinelli, the matches one without a plug in it, the adapter in it, and it was just a little bit too open for me.
yeah.
It was a little more like smoking a corn cob, and I love cobs, but they have a wide open draw. And
When I first got my pipes, I got the corn cob, and that's why I noticed a real open draw, and I quite like that. I don't know what
Mhm,
it is. It's just I quite like that.
I do too in the cob. In that Savinelli though, I wanted a little tighter, so I tried one of the adapters and it worked just fine.
Mm.
Um, Now you you mentioned the black and brown twists as your favorite blends. Would you say then do you lean toward the Agawath Hogarth, that dark, the way they process things in general?
Yeah, the first tobaccos I got pretty much were yeah, Gareth Hogarth, Samuel Gareth, all kinds of different things, and that it's just I don't know what they do to their tobaccos. It just
Hmm.
appeals to me, and I've tried other brands as well, like Peterson and stuff like that. My first tobacco was Peterson Nightcap.
Now I do like Nightcap. It's a nice strong if you like Latakia.
Mm,
But yeah, there's something that the Gawath family does with their Virginias in that however they're heat processing them, fire curing them, whatever, that
it's
it
just
Makes them
It's just,
delicious.
yeah, it's just different to anything else, and
Hmm.
yeah, it just really appeals to me.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That for the longest time, I thought I didn't like Virginias at all because the ones that I was trying were the honey bread grass. I
Mm,
don't like that.
yeah.
That doesn't do anything for me. And it was Onion 2 a.m. pipe on the patio that told me, you got to try the Irish twists. He was right. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was definitely right. Now,
Mm.
have you tried any of the heavy Lakelands yet, like Ennerdale or?
Um, Bosun cut plug, Coniston cut plug, they're really good. I really like those. I don't know
Yeah.
what the scent is, but it's just, I don't know, it's just you want more of it, whatever it is. It's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, that heavy floral. I think it's a love hate thing because I know
Mm,
there are so many people who just who can't stand it. I was surprised. Like I said, I don't normally smoke aromatics, but I sure liked Ennerdale. That
yeah.
it's just got a fantastic flavor to it.
There was a couple that I didn't quite get on with, and that was a Canon plug and Grousemore plug.
Mm.
It was too floral. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a Bosun cut plug and Coniston cut plug. They were like more perfumey to me, but the Canon plug and Grousemore were really, I don't know, just too floral.
Mm.
Don't know what it was. They're slightly different. I just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, and I think like I said, I was really surprised that I enjoyed them nearly as much as I do.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I thought, oh, floral, that's not going to be good. But then when you try it, it's this. Yeah, you've got to try it.
Hmm. Now you
Don't really.
mentioned that Savinelli is it has become pretty quickly your favorite brand. Do you have a particular shape that you gravitate toward, or are you just still exploring all the different shapes?
That was one of my first seven pipes, and I just love the straight billiard shape.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to beat a classic.
yeah, that's it. It's just simple. So yeah, I like the straight billiard.
What about finishes?
Mm.
Smooth, rusticated?
You know, I've got probably more rusticated than I have smooth, but I keep looking at. It's just something about the grain in the smooth pipes. You just keep looking at them. They're just interesting. Whereas the rusticated, I don't know. I have more rusticated than smooth, but I just these are nice to look at.
Well, the yeah, I'm fascinated by bird's eye. That
Hmm.
so I love a smooth grained pipe. I'm a bulldog type myself, and I love a
Yeah,
smooth grained pipe that has has lots of bird's eye or alternating bird's eye and straight grain to where you can you have a nice contrast.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
absolutely fascinated. So now you have been smoking a pipe for about 5 months,
yeah,
and you've been presenting almost that long.
yeah.
You've been at this for a few months now. What drew you into being a presenter in the YTPC?
Well, I was a little bit reluctant to do it at first. It took me a while to make the choice. Like, I wasn't sure if anyone would be interested or how many of you there are out there that are in this community. I didn't realize how many there are until I actually got in and joined in. And so, yeah, at the start, I thought, well, I'm not sure if I want to do this. So yeah, a few months later, I thought I better do it now. So it's like kind of a video diary. You can watch my progress from
Hmm.
way early on, and hopefully for years to come. So I thought it would be nice to kind of record the journey that I go on and to see how things go.
Yeah,
How it turns out.
there are thousands and thousands of viewers out there. Um, each of us, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, that's a pretty big mark. But um, it's amazing how many there actually are out there. That
Mhm.
there are tons and tons of people watching videos and relatively few um, folks making them. Now,
Yeah.
I've been watching you. You have gotten really a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. Uh,
Mhm.
you really have. And I'm sure you've noticed it if you've gone back and looked
Yeah.
at some of your
It,
early videos.
yeah, my early videos, I'm just rushing through like, bang, this is this, this is that. Yep. Bye, guys. And now it's like it's more relaxed. You know, nobody judges anyone. Nobody's got anything against anyone, and
Yep.
everybody's friendly, and we're all pipe smokers, all good
Hmm.
people.
No, I absolutely. Now, one of the things I'm always interested in when it's not obvious is channel names. How did you pick the Mad Piper?
Because I'm mad. That's the only reason.
Well, it's not a bad reason. Let's see if I can get relit here.
As long as there's method in the madness.
I was telling Tom before we got started that I went ahead and folded and stuffed this flake, so it's taken a
Mhm.
number of relights to really get it going. Um, it's a good flake though. Those of you guys who don't really like aromatics, this one's not a sweet, fruity. It's pretty good.
I'm surprised this one is burning through like no problem at all. Usually I have to relight a lot more times than I have this time.
Hmm.
Burning through nice.
All right. Outside of pipes, what are your other hobbies?
Play electric guitar, listen to music, do a little bit of reading. That's about it.
Have you uh, have you played in a band?
Never played in a band. Not many people know that I play. I was self-taught since I was about 18 or something, and it's just it's one of those things like a stress relief. I go play the guitar.
Do you teach yourself songs by just listening to them and trying to pick out what you're hearing, or how do you
Yeah,
do it?
yeah. I listen to songs over and over, and eventually, if I play along to them, I'll get it.
No, that's interesting. I'm relatively self-taught on the piano as well, and so yeah, I know how that goes. I do read music. I was fortunate when I was a kid to take a couple years of piano lessons, but I hated them. So,
Mm,
but that did at least teach me how to read music. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah,
guitar is one of those things that I've always thought, it would be useful for me to know at least how to play a few chords. And I've never managed to really, take that plunge. It's always been well, particularly since it's a little more portable than the
mm,
piano is.
yeah.
Hard to take a piano around a campfire and to impress the girl. Um, that doesn't work real well. Um, so piano reading. What do you like to read? We have a lot of readers in the pipe world.
I've not been reading that much lately, but at the moment I'm reading uh, this book, Will Self Phone. So that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Um, do you tend to gravitate toward nonfiction, or do you read history or?
Before I was more of a fiction person. I'd only read fiction, but then recently I've just got into non-fiction and quite enjoy it. You really get into it,
Hmm.
and you
Yeah,
can't stop reading.
I'm a bit of a history buff myself. Anything if you can write it and make it interesting, man, I have a hard time
Yeah,
putting the book down.
I like to read a lot of technical stuff. Like electric, anything to do with electronics. It just interests me. That's it.
Well, have you ever done your own, built your own radio or anything like that?
I studied electronics for several years, and we did little projects like that.
That's always fascinated me.
Mm.
One of the things that kept me from being an electrical engineer was that, well, I'm really, really bad at circuits. And
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to go into any kind of electronics if you're bad at circuits.
Yeah, a lot.
And
Yeah, a lot of it was to do with maths, and at the start, I really hated maths. But then I realised it's all maths, so I had to learn to like it.
uh-huh. Well, I'm a math major, so the math part wasn't the hard part for me.
Oh,
It was
you.
assembling the getting the pieces of a circuit diagram
Oh,
together to where, you know, if you had to try and match a certain impedance oh, forget it.
yeah, that's
I'm
what we used to
completely,
do.
yeah, and I'm completely lost with that stuff.
Oh
I'm
man,
I'm always impressed by you guys who can do it, because you wouldn't want me designing even the most basic circuit. No, I'm horrible.
oh,
Absolutely.
that's interesting because I always thought if you could do maths, you could fly through it, but it's not the case. Oh,
No, the math that I'm really good at is more image processing,
so it's totally
and
different than really.
right, and optimization. Those are the three things that I studied, and yeah, they're. But see, I went that direction because I discovered I was terrible at circuits. So I had
Right.
originally planned on going into electrical engineering, and phew, that convinced me that that was not going to be a good field for me. Yeah. And computer
Wow.
imaging was just really starting to take off when I was studying math. So it was a natural fit because it was fascinating, early digital photography and that sort of thing.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
the math behind that, and it was a lot of fun. But I could understand that stuff.
Mm,
Yeah, no, electronics just uh-uh.
yeah. And going with electronics, I like to collect old computers from the 80s, like
Yeah.
Commodore 64 and stuff like that. So I've got a few of those lying around. I've
You have any old Texas Instruments like a TI-99?
not got any TI, no. I've got a couple of old calculators.
Ah, my oldest calculator is an old Solar TI. Yeah, a TI-99 with the old tape drive where you put a cassette in um, for
That's
memory,
the that's the kind of computers. Yeah, they've all got like all the games are on tapes and stuff like that.
and that's what I learned to program on.
Mm,
Was
cool.
my dad bought one of those for us to play with at home, um, and yeah, so yeah, the old TI-99. I programmed a like a rat maze. Um,
Oh, wicked.
yeah, that was just
Yeah, they're pretty fun to play around on now. It's crazy what computers can do nowadays. It's completely different.
yes, it is. Yeah. When you think that the computing power that got us to the moon fits on something smaller than a wristwatch now. I mean, that's
Just
yeah,
blows your mind.
amazing. Well, it also
Mm,
shows you just how smart those engineers were to be able to work within such limited technology and still get the answers. Uh,
yeah,
some bright guys.
it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it really really is. One of the things that I've always been fascinated with in the UK is it seems like, from an outsider's perspective, like you guys have more brick and mortar stores available. Do you have any near you?
As far as I know, I don't have any close by
Really?
to me. Yeah, I
Uh,
buy online. Everything I buy is online. Yeah,
Now, do you buy from a British website, or are you go to Esterval's, or
yeah,
how's that?
British website. Yeah, British.
Just curious. Um, because everybody over here, talks about buying things that you can't get here from Esterval's, but not really familiar with how that works otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not sure about buying from different countries. I've never done that, so no idea.
Does Smoking Pipe still have a website in Europe?
Yeah, I believe so, but I've never used that one. I
No.
always use, yeah.
They
There's
have a
always one that
shoddy reputation. Some of us have had good luck, and some of us have not.
so I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been one of the lucky ones. Um, but yeah, just curious about that and pipe clubs, because the stereotype in the U.S. is we think of of Brits getting off of work and you know going to a pub and having a pint and a cigar or a pipe and you know,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what you do when you're not at work. Have a few drinks and that, and then go back to work again. Do the week, end of the week, relax. Just repeats.
now that doesn't sound like a bad idea to me.
End of the day, just smoke all night.
Yeah. Yeah, we a tiny little town that I live in only has one bar and it's yeah, I'm not going there. It is fortunately right next to a really good Mexican restaurant, but yeah, no, we don't have the kind of neighborhood pub that, well, for example, that we had when I was a kid in Germany. Our little village had two pubs that competed with each other, and
yeah, it's like that in the villages. You have the little pubs, but if you go into the city, it's a little bit, there's more people, of course. Yeah,
well,
times have changed though, right?
yes, I was in Germany 40 years ago, so it's been a little while.
I wasn't around.
Our village, the two pubs each had their own soccer team, and so you know the village was only 1,000 people, so
Yeah,
the rivalries were intense, and the trash
yeah.
talking was intense. And then on Sunday, everybody went to the same church. You know, it's just, you know, they fight over soccer all week, and yeah, it was funny.
It's kind of like that when I was younger. Between the villages, there would be like each village would be rival against each other. It didn't make sense because now there's so much housing development that all the villages are kind of joined. So
Yeah, well that's happening here too. The small towns the small town I'm in, when we moved here 10 years ago, only had about 4,000 people, and it's doubled now. And yeah, there's no separation between us and the town that used to be 4 or 5 miles away.
yeah, all the green fields, all of that, yeah, it's just gone. It's just houses now.
Yeah, we are fortunate that they developed with some forest and a lake in between, but yeah, other than that, it gets swallowed up pretty quickly.
I suppose somebody's got to live somewhere, right?
Yep, they do. And Al, there's the same reason that I liked the small town brought more people here. I just have to move farther out
Yeah, that's it.
now. But well, let me see. You haven't been smoking long enough. Well, for me to ask if you have dedicated any pipes to any particular blends yet. Um,
Yeah, I kind of choose what to put in different pipes. Like I'll put Latakia in one pipe, and
okay,
not too obsessive, but just separate what I'm smoking in each pipe.
okay, so yeah, you do that, dedicate pipes a little bit. Um,
Mm,
I have one pipe that's dedicated, and that is my Lakeland pipe. So
yeah,
anything with Lakeland goes through that one pipe,
I can understand why as well.
and
You
it
will
is
taste it for
yeah, and it is ghosted.
yeah.
It is thoroughly well ghosted.
When I first got the it was Great Big Peterson. When I first got that, I just smoked Samuel Gareth Fire Dance and just that constantly. And then when I went to smoke something else, I could smell just Fire Dance in the bowl, and I was like,
Mhm.
no, no way. That's all you could taste.
Well, and it seems that a lot of the old estate pipes that I get, I'm not sure that they're really ghosted, but the old briar, I guess if it's been sitting long enough,
There's
it
a
just has
taste.
kind of a smell or taste to it that yeah, I have to either I sometimes do an alcohol cleaning, but quite often I just I'll smoke some pirate cake or the
Mm.
Irish twist, something strong just to kind of chase that flavor out.
Yeah, I noticed that with some old pipes that I was gifted, and yeah, when I smoked them, you could taste whatever it is the old pipes taste of. And I thought, you know, after
Yeah.
a few smokes of the twists, it's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
And it's not quite the same as a Lakeland ghosting or a Latakia ghosting.
No, it's yeah, I know what you mean though.
And yeah, there's just an odd flavor. But yeah, I do have that one that one pipe is dedicated to Lakelands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to wrap this up, I'm going to ask you two questions. I'm going to go ahead and ask them and just to let you flow from one to the other. The first part is, what do you like best about the YTPC? And then the second part is, what would you like to tell our viewers as we sign off?
Well, what I like about the YTPC is the community, how friendly everybody is, and how close everybody is. Everybody looks out for each other, and it should. I hope it stays that way. It's really good, and that's kind of what attracted me to join you guys and start making videos with you guys. And I understand nobody judges, nobody, you know, everybody has their own opinions, and everybody respects those opinions. And it's really good. So yeah.
And any parting words?
Just thank you for having me on. I don't really have anything to say. Thanks.
Oh, well, that's quite enough. Thank you for spending the time with me. I really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
folks, Tom's link will be down below. So check his channel out, give him a sub. I do think you're gonna like him quite a bit. With that, I'll tell you what I tell you every time. Light something you like, enjoy your afternoon.